The annual Thanksgiving travel ordeal will soon be upon us, and for the millions who will fly over the holiday, there's more troubling news about the federal Air Marshal program. CNN senior investigative correspondent Drew Griffin has been looking into the program for a decade now, and tonight has a new exclusive report.
These documents, released to CNN through a Freedom of Information Act request, reveal more than 200 cases of alleged misconduct by federal air marshals involving firearms. Men and women supposedly well-trained to use their weapons in one of the most dangerous environments, misplacing, misfiring, even accidentally and not so accidentally shooting themselves. Documents released to CNN include 19 accidental discharges, including an air marshal who caused a gunshot wound to his right foot. Another accidentally discharged his firearm in a hotel room, hitting a television in the adjoining room. More than 70 cases of air marshals losing weapons. 3 times, air marshals have left their service weapons in an airplane's bathroom. They've left weapons in restrooms, bars, even a Bed Bath & Beyond in New Jersey. In at least 13 cases, alcohol was involved. After releasing the documents, the Federal Air Marshal Service invited CNN to the Air Marshal Training Academy outside Atlantic City, New Jersey, where new air marshals are taught how to handle their weapons, and top instructor Daniel Cowell admitted the reports are embarrassing.
We look at what was the underlying cause, what happened, where, if and when training failed, how and why did it fail, and how do we plug that gap, how do we fix that hole. Our goal as a training department is to strive for 0% error.
It's hard to compare if air marshals are more or less dangerous with weapons than other law enforcement agencies because the number of air marshals is classified. But former air marshals tell CNN any mishap is unacceptable because their agents operate at 34,000 feet.
There's no backup. You have got to take care of business, and you got to do it very quickly and efficiently.
Henry Preston, who spent 10 years in the service, says he observed a decline in weapons training and practice year by year. Inconsistencies, he said, that could contribute to mistakes.
They need additional training. There's no doubt about it.
Oddly, 3 of the apparent mishaps occurred during firearms training. In one case, an instructor allegedly threw training bullets called simunition into an open flame. They exploded, and 1 staff member was struck in the face by flying debris. Problems are nothing new to the controversial Air Marshal Service. As CNN has previously reported, agents have continually complained about low morale, low staffing, grueling hours. A 2012 sleep study obtained by CNN shows 75% of domestic air marshals were flying while sleep deficient. That study found that lack of sleep puts them at greater incidence of serious errors. Critics question if air marshals are even necessary. Last year, the Department of Homeland Security's Inspector General slammed the Air Marshal Service and said its contribution to aviation transportation security is questionable. Ohio State professor John Mueller, who studies the efficiencies of security measures, says the nearly $1 billion agency is almost worthless.
Federal air marshals simply don't pass muster in terms of cost-benefit analysis. They deliver about 5 cents or maybe 10 cents of benefit for every dollar that's spent on them.
And now the revelation that at least 200 cases where agents made dangerous mistakes is yet another strike against the Federal Air Marshals program.
So Drew Griffin joins me now. And Drew, it's not often you hear someone saying a law enforcement agency is worthless. I'm sure the TSA doesn't think you should just dissolve the Air Marshals program, right?
Yeah, John, the TSA sent us a full statement pushing back on the idea that you should just get rid of the Air Marshals. We still, though, have no evidence this group has taken part in stopping any terrorist activity. And the DHS Inspector General did call the group's contribution to safety questionable, which is one of the reasons some call it's for disbandment. But on the issue of gun safety and training, the TSA says these reports cover 12 years, representing less than 1% of the workforce during that time frame, and says these misconduct reports are taken seriously, investigated, and dealt with quickly.
The idea, though, that these people have guns on airplanes and they may not be the best trained, that's pretty troubling.
I agree. The TSA says they are trained, of course, to the highest standards. John, the problem is many air marshals that we've been talking to disagree with that. And even the Government Accountability Office reported in 2016 that the TSA wasn't able to tell if its air marshals were being trained properly. They couldn't even tell. The TSA does say that's all fixed now, that's all we can take them at as their word.
All right, let's hope. Drew Griffin, thanks so much for the reporting.
Thanks.